Hi everyone, Emma here. So welcome to 10-minute tips. And of course, you know me, once the camera starts rolling, it's more than 10 minutes. We'll see if we can get it in on 10 minutes. So I'm showing you this thread on purpose because I'm getting down to the last bits of my dragon thread, which is the nylon fused thread that I get from Potomac Beads. And because it comes from the States, after COVID, we've been getting dinged with duty and tariffs and stuff like that. So I think because a lot of people were doing online shopping, and it was an easy way to collect tax on stuff. So I've been looking to find a nylon fused thread or equivalent that I can use for my bead weaving. So normally, we'll get back to the dragon thread in a second. So normally I use thread like this, so 1G, Eslon, micro Eslon, I think Nymo is another thread. So I use these primarily for bead embroidery. I feel like they're not strong enough for structure in a bead weaving bracelet. Let me know if this is all you use. I know a lot of people use it for peyote. I think definitely peyote or brick stitch would be good with these as well. They would be strong enough because you're going through each bead multiple times and there's a lot of beads in one section. So these type of threads would be great. The other part to this is there's lots of colors, so you can hide your thread. Super cool. But I'm going to show you a tip on how to make this into any color you want. So let's put this aside. And let me just touch on the price. So this I got at Michael's. Here's the other thing. This is easily available to people in the US and people in Canada. And I probably, because I am from Canada, primarily I'm talking about Canada, because if you're in the States, you can definitely get this from Potomac Beads. You just pay your state tax when you purchase things from an American business, so not a big deal. And usually they have deals for free shipping. So if you're not close to a Potomac Bead shop or the Potomac Bead shop. So this is easily accessible. Michael's are everywhere. And this is 500 meters. And if you want the yards, it's 547 yards. And it is 100% bonded nylon. This was between $10 and $12 Canadian at my Michael's store. So I went and picked this up at the Michael's store. And so this is how it comes, but it is the actual thread spool is wrapped in this kind of shrink wrap cellophane, so it keeps it clean. They have a few colors. So they have this color, which is white. They have a gray, I think a tan. I can't remember if they have a blue. I think they do have a blue. Let me double check here since I have their page up. There's the Michaels. Okay, yeah. So they have gray, black, tan, and white is what they have. But like I said, you can make this any color you want. I'm going to show you how to do that. And we'll talk a little bit more about this thread. So I'm just going to get a piece of paper. And I got these at the dollar store. I thought they were Copic markers, which are alcohol based. These are actually water based. So after I used it on a project, I was a bit concerned that maybe the color wouldn't last, but I'll talk to you about that. So the idea is, let me show you, I got some really beautiful beads from BB Craft. These gorgeous beads from BB Craft. Let's enlarge this. See if we can get that a little brighter. So when I took them off of the thread, I was really disappointed. I thought they were pink, and actually this is what the color was. So they're a very faint pink color. And when I realized, look at how bright this thread is that they had it on. So the thread was actually accenting the color. So I was really disappointed, didn't know what to do with them. They're really beautiful beads. And of course, when I realized I was running out of beading thread, I'm like, well, let me try this stuff, see if it works. And it occurred to me, I could change the color of this using one of these markers. So I'll show you how I did that. And let's just take this off. So this does talk about it's best used with 10O beads and 11O beads. This part is really important because I have bought thread. I've got actually a couple of spools of thread that look like this. There's no way you could thread an 11O bead onto it. So it's really nice that they put that there. So then you're not guessing, oh, is this going to work for me? So that's awesome. And then it talks about great for brick stitch, herringbone, peyote, bead embroidery, and more. So, and definitely the fused bonded nylon is great. There's a little bit more on the back side. So let's take a piece of this thread. Now I did find it stretches a bit, but so if you're doing a project where you think it might, the beads might stretch, your thread definitely pre-stretch. I think for people that do bead embroidery, they pre-stretch their thread. So let's get this here. So I'm going to take this flat side of the marker like this, and I'm just going to hold down my marker and pull my thread through like this. And I do that a couple of times. I think the first time I just did it once and it was fine. I decided to do it a couple of times because I realized that this was water-based and I was worried the color wouldn't stay. So, and I'm just going to do the end that I was holding on to. So there is your thread, and now it's the color that you need it. So if you have different color markers, and we will test. I got my Sharpie marker out. I felt like this color was too bright for these beads, but you know what? And I will show you a project that I did using this thread. I think I could go a deeper pink and it would still look lovely. So what I did was I took my thread and I got a cup of water. Actually, I don't have any water with me. I did go turn the faucet on and went through and rubbed it under the water. Nothing came out. Now I will show you with this thread, I would highly recommend you wax it, and the reason being, I don't know, let me see if we can see it up close. It is a bit, it's twisted. Let me show you on this, that might be easier to see. You can kind of see the waviness to it. So this is twisted thread, and you can feel it when you pass your nail over it. So you want to make sure you kind of untwist that so that when you're beading, your threads don't all ball up as you're passing through your beads. So I'm going to take my wax, my beeswax, and I'm going to wax my thread like this, and you can see it's kind of untwisting it here as well as waxing it like that. I do it twice, and then I go through with my finger to pull any excess wax off, and there's really not much there. But so there's what you have. So this is amazing. We can try a few colors too to show you, but in the meantime I'm going to show you the bracelet that I made with it. So this is what I made with this. So you can imagine, let's flip this to this side. So this is with the beading thread. Here's the, so it is a bit darker, a more like a peachy color than this pale pink, so you can adjust accordingly. I think just putting them together, this is herringbone, by the way, in case people are wondering. This is, I think I did 16 beads of herringbone, and I looped it so it's hollow inside, and just did it so it sits flat. It's lovely. So I'll be doing a video on this as well, so you can see. But I definitely wanted to, it's after 10 minutes. So it's definitely worth trying with the thread. So let's try a different color. I've got some green and some yellow. So if you think about a I thought that maybe green would work for gold beads. I don't feel like it does when you change the color. Let me grab my green and yellows here. So let's grab the green. We'll do one side green, one side yellow. So this, again, is the Sharpie. And I'll show you the Sharpie in the pink, and then we'll test it on the beads. So just pull your thread through. It's a little harder with this type of tip. I'm going to try not to pass over it. I definitely think if you went a second time, it would change it to a little darker. If you're worried you're not getting through to the other side, definitely do too. Let me tilt the camera. I don't want to be off camera here. So you can hear the sound of the thread. That is another indication that it's twisted. So there, we'll do the other side yellow, so we'll test it on gold beads. See if they come through. So here's your yellow. The reason I say green for gold beads is because I usually use green dragon thread or fireline for gold beads, and you don't see it at all. Don't know what kind of voodoo magic that is, because when I took the green thread, it didn't work. Let me, I feel like this is a little too dark here. This is just not friendship. Okay, get my gold beads. So this is one of those bracelets that I made, like this one. This one I used, I think, 32. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. No, I used 16. It's bigger because these are Toho beads, so they're a little bigger than the others. So stay tuned for those videos. But let's take a look. You can definitely see the green here. Now, you're probably saying, don't put it on top, Emma. Let's go to the side. So here is the green dragon thread from Potomac Bead. And let's see if we put a strand like this. You can definitely see that. So let's try the gold, the yellow, I mean. So the yellow would probably be a little better, although it is, I mean, it matches a little better. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it. So depending on what beading you're doing, you know, changing the color of this, what they call good thread from John Bead, you might want to decide what color you're going to put it. Yeah, so I think that was everything I was going to mention. I did want to say that when I waxed it, you can see how some of the color came off in my wax, but it didn't seem to matter to the bracelet itself. So, oh, I think we were going to test the darker color. Let's try a fresh piece. I was going to do just go over the one that we did with the other marker, but I think we need to just test the pink Sharpie marker with this on those clear or light pink beads to give you an idea. So I hope this is helpful. So you see how it's all twisting here. So just pull that out. Oh, I probably stayed there too long. There. I am assuming with the Sharpie markers, they are permanent, so I doubt that you will get any color change happening. So I did find that threading this beading thread a little, it's not like super hard, but it just takes a little more attention to do it. So let's grab some of these, give us a little idea of what that's going to look like. And if you're wondering about these beads, just go back to my unboxing for BB Craft to find these. I did probably every color they had of this bead. So the other part to this is they are super tiny. I think they're 1.5 by 2. So they're hard to get on your needle. Just like the hole is nice and big. It's hard to see where the hole is. So you kind of have to poke it a bit. So let's try this many on the thread. Oh, look at that. So it's definitely darker. It's not the same. Let me enlarge this so you can see. And let me find a fresh part of this page. So you can see how light those are. Oh, that's two. And let me go a little further. That was two. That was the folded over part of my thread. So this is what it looks like on their thread. Now their thread's pretty thick. Actually, it's twice around. So I think that's why I went with the lighter color of marker to give me a more accurate, close representation of the pink. So there you go. Let me just go back to my new best friend. So this gorgeous thread from John Bead. You can also buy this on Amazon. So, but definitely if you can get it at Michael's, for sure get it at Michael's. So there you go. Your 10-minute tip times 2. Take care, everybody. Bye.